question is straightforward, but I'll then need to just explain a bit about the business and the history. But it's really how to go from a small-time business and almost a hobby, a side project, to really whether you feel this business is worth scaling up. So the history of it is it began as a live stream platform delivering video workshops, live stream video workshops on emotional well-being. Mm-hmm. So things like mindfulness in the workplace, just raw food, tools, tips and techniques about how to live life better, whether it's outside the workplace or inside. And I teamed up with a university in London, and we delivered the live stream workshops by using the second year students. So they had a bit of experience working on the business, and we got to use their studios. But it became obvious after the first two that we tried that really, without a large audience, it doesn't need to be live streamed. We were overcomplicating it. So then the next stage of the business was all about taking the people that have inspired me over the last few years and getting them in front of a camera and getting their, their gold dust, really, that was at the moment only being delivered one-to-one to people, getting them in front of the camera and creating video workshops that we'd put on the site for people to purchase. So they'd be on demand. And during that process, so the idea was it's always going to be based and aimed towards individuals. And I knew that was going to cost money to build the audience and find the people. But in the process of that, I got introduced to somebody in the L&D department at WPP. And they said, wow, we'd be really interested in a well-being platform that was slightly going into the leadership space, but that we could basically roll out to our company, and it would be tools, tips and techniques about how to live better, work better, eat better, sleep better, stress. And I thought, great, that's really exciting. But I kind of felt a bit of fear about going out and getting investment and really making a commitment to it. So I almost kept the business quite small. And then the next stage, whilst I was considering that, was I got introduced to somebody in the HR department at what was the government department, DEC, which is now BEAS. And so I've had them as a client for the last 6 months, or actually maybe even a year. And we've just gone in and delivered talks. So I'm almost facilitating the people that have run workshops for me online to do talks. I do an introduction and then they deliver a talk. And I also sold in the idea of videoing the workshop, which is obviously can charge some extra for that. And then they can then send that out to a wider audience rather than the sort of 50 people that attended the talk. And then the next stage, because it's been a bit easier, is actually to upload a lot more workshops online that are delivered as talks to organizations. So that's really where I am. We're still selling some of the workshops online to individuals, but not to many, because I'm not doing that much marketing. I've only got one corporate client that at the moment is very small time, just delivering talks. And it's really the space that I want to get into is more the leadership space, because I think it's more interesting, but I also think it's harder to get into. I know the business has legs because I've seen someone like Ariana Huffington move into this space. She's got a platform called Thrive Global, and really it's almost identical to what I was trying to do, but it's not my main business now because I couldn't make revenue quick enough with that to pay a mortgage. So I have another business that I run which pays my mortgage, but really my love is kind of within this business, but I don't really know how to resource it. Is it worth making it grow? Carrie and I had a quick conversation about it. Is it the type of business that you would go and get investment for? I'm not sure, and I'm a bit scared about doing that as well.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's really interesting. And I really appreciate your openness with all of that. What would you love if possible? You'd love it if. What is that?
Well, I'd love it. What I really enjoy about this is actually giving people tangible tools and techniques to live a better life. I help also deliver an experience which is called Street Wisdom. And we took a group, I volunteer for it actually, but we took a group of 80 people at Barclays on Wednesday, and they'd already done a huge amount of leadership training. These people are managing directors and directors at Barclays. And we took them on this 3-hour experiential, an experience on the streets to find answers to their problems. And they came back saying, this is the best thing that we've done in 6 months. And I know some of those videos and some of those people that I'm working with can deliver real value to people, getting them to think differently. And that's what I would really love, is just to make a difference to people's lives, whether it's individuals or corporates.
Great, great. Okay, brilliant. That's such a great story, because what that tells me is that face-to-face interaction in the moment and the experience that you gave them, that particular example is not possible on video or anything other than live face-to-face, and that you personally and others around you who you found have probably got the talent to be able to do that and the confidence to be in front of a group of people like that and give them that kind of experience. And so it strikes me that you do have a way, if you wish, to develop that without needing funding, without needing to make that sort of leap of corporateness, which a video platform and a learning platform with distributed content needs. It's a different type of business. They're both great. They've both got a reason for being, but they're different businesses. The first one is relatively low cost of entry. The second one is a relatively higher cost of entry. So I'm wondering whether you could develop the first one over the next couple of years, and while you've got your other business paying the mortgage and your bills, build up enough retained profit to then look at doing the second, the platform and so on. So you look at it in terms of stages. I wonder whether that would work for you.
Yes, I really like that. I think that's great. And I think it's about having a bit of confirmation of that, because that does make sense. And in fact, my other business is a little bit quiet at the moment, but I have built up profits. It's just had a really good 6 months, and I'm feeling like, is this really how should I be filling my time now? And I also want to rebrand it. I want to give it a new lease of life. The name that I gave it originally doesn't really fit now, so I kind of feel that I totally believe in the idea of energizing something, and I'm not energizing it enough at the moment, but I have a desire to. So I think if I gave it a bit of a rebrand and really figured out the stages, then that's a good enough answer for me at the moment, I think.
That's great. And I just, if I may, reflect back to you, and I think I get the sense you'll understand what I mean by this, that if you listen to the language you're using about this business and what you'd like to do for people and re-energizing, I would just reflect that back to you and say that's what you do for you in order to get what you love to do up and running in stages, rather than making a giant leap, which even if you had all the cash may not be a good thing to do anyway. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you very much. That's almost very simple, but it's exactly what I needed to hear. So thank you very much, Alan.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.